got a bit of a dark subject for you. Now, this is apropos of nothing, and actually it was a story on capital punishment that made me think about it, but suicide. It's a interesting phenomenon amongst all of life. Everything has an opportunity for suicide, even plants, really, if you think about it. But people are unique, where we stigmatize suicide because of religious beliefs. You ever wonder why they advertise so strong the afterlife, this wonderful, magical place that you will have the most wonderful experience and be rejoined with all your loved ones and everyone throughout history. But you can't go there on your own volition. You have to wait till you've been called. Because if you go on your own, you're going to hell. Seems like kind of a strange to advertise something so strong but say you can't have it unless you've been invited. And you only get invited unless you believe what we tell you to believe. But suicide is a very diverse subject. Just look at suicide bombers. Not only are they encouraged to commit suicide, but they're given the advertisement force-fed to them. What, 72 versions? Get 72 versions if you kill yourself as a martyr. That's kind of sick and twisted. But here in the States, we look down upon suicide. Sort of a weakness of character if you want to kill yourself. Doesn't matter how old you are, or how sick you are, or how much pain you're in, or how much general discomfort you've been suffering throughout your life. If you want to commit suicide, you're not a very good person. Kevorkian, remember him? He wanted to help people who'd had enough. And he was labeled a murderer for doing so. People like Mother Teresa would have had those people suffer for as long as humanly possible, because that's part of God's plan, suffering. She liked to see people suffer. That was her enlightenment. Don't like to see people suffer. And it's a sad thing that, not that I condone suicide. It's definitely, it's an easy out. I mean, if you think about life, life is a light bulb. And it can only go out one time. And most people at one point or another think they're either too tired or too stressed or too sick or too angry or too fed up, and they just want to turn that light out. And then they remember, it's like, yeah, I can only do that one time, and they get over it. But suicide is a dark thing. Animals do it. Animals know when it's time to go. They find a place and let go of life. And, people do that too. My grandfather did. I mean, it was kind of a romantic story. He was 94 and he told my grandmother one night, "This is my last night," and she held his hand till it got cold, and that was that. By today's standard, they would have done everything humanly possible to keep him from dying. And they probably would have taken legal action against my grandmother had they heard what she had done. But that's just today's standards. But how do you feel about suicide? Let me know, because I have semi-mixed feelings. I'm definitely not for it, but I understand those who realize maybe it's time for them to go. Why shouldn't we let them go?